All that matters now are the people we love. That's a quote from the film Jurassic Park. And we think of this movie as a movie with loads of effects and loads of dinosaurs eating loads of people and being very, very angry. But the fact of the matter is that this movie is much deeper, and it's much more about people and people being able to let go. The man that endorses or builds this park, John Hammond, played brilliantly by Richard Attenborough. He made the park because he wanted to create something real. As a child, he had a flea circus. And it was a fake circus, because the fleas did not exist. It was with motorized seesaws. But Hammond wanted to create something real. But then he saw that this thing that he created with things that were long gone, 65 million years old, actually was dangerous. And at the very end of the first movie, he sees that the most real thing in the world is the love in his heart. At the end, what is important right now, Laura Dern says in the movie, is the people we love. And that, dear ladies and gentlemen who are listening, that is the only thing that matters. Because anything that you see around you is just a product of somebody that's made it, or somebody that's been there, or somebody that's created something, or somebody that has made sure that it exists. Without the people, without the souls of the people, I would say, without the emotions, without the will of the people, without the love of the people, and be it a tree that was planted, be it an animal walking across the lawn, be it a city, be it a car, be it an airplane, be it a restaurant, be it a community. If it weren't for the people and the love of the people, none of that would have existed. Now we can say that we have a planet, an ecosystem, and a nature that exists on its own, naturally. But we have to remember that nature and everything in the universe, everything that exists in the universe, or in the universes, be it may it so be that there are many universes. Anything in existence is in vibration. Now we might say a table is a table. We have a table, but the table at the very microscopic level are vibrating electrons, photons, neutrons, protons. They're vibrating elements. At the very, very microscopic level, quarks, very, very small matter. So a stone is not immobile. A stone is simply in vibration. Everything is in vibration. And that's proven since Niels Bohr actually discovered quantum mechanics about 100 years ago, 80 to 100 years ago. He discovered that everything in the universe is in vibration, everything. And that electrons, these small little pieces of matter, are actually not matter, they're fields, and that they vibrate, and that they connect, they entangle. So one electron that's actually met another electron, and they've tested this in laboratories, if they're separated, they actually connect, and they entangle, they stay entangled. Now we are electrons, we are made of electrons, these small little parts. And that means that we connect with other electrons, which means our vibrations are still connected with people that we've met. Say you had a lover, or you had a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, 20 years ago, and you broke up. Of course, there are parts of you that still thinks about that person. It doesn't mean that you have to go back there. Or any friend that you've ever met, any good friend, you're eternally connected to that person. So you cannot, you cannot say you let go. You gotta love. If you love something that's in your past, that you have something that you love, or that you've missed, or something horrible, traumatic has happened to you in an earlier life, in this life, you have to learn to love it, and then it'll sort of become a part of you. Now, it's easy for people who are cynical, to put up their hands and say, hey, mumbo jumbo, hey, I see what I see is real, nothing else is real. But knowing what we know about quantum mechanics, and knowing that people actually are able, there are people who are able to nurture themselves with light energy. There are people who do not drink, who do not eat, and who are very healthy. And they drink and eat light energy. Now, how would that be possible if light energy did not exist? And knowing what we know about the vibrations of anything, we know that what we see is 99.9% empty space. And anything that you see, including us, is 99.9% empty space. Knowing what we know about the atoms. So, what I'm saying is that we have to change our perspective. We are in a time right now in history where these perspectives, the things that we know, the things that we know about physics, not Newtonian physics, a table is a table, material is material, can't be in two places at once, and so on. Newtonian physics is aged and old. And quantum physics now is the ruling physics. And we're talking about epigenetics. We're talking about epibiology, epichemistry. We're talking about the new kind of philosophy that really exists, where everything is one. What's really, really important is to realize that the big picture matters. At the very end, I'm going back to Jurassic Park here, at the very, very end, we have John Hammond, who has let this park go. The idea of creating something that's real, a wonder outside of himself. He realizes what he has inside himself, his emotions, his emotional reality, the love he feels for people, for loved ones. That is the most important thing. And he is able to let this, thing go that he created. And the very end, Sam Neill's character, he sits with two children in his arms, or sleeping on his shoulder. Laura Dern looks over at him in the helicopter, smiling, because she sees this man who hated children at the very end having this role change, this transition as a character, actually at the end finding his own love and finding his own peace. And it wouldn't matter if Laura Dern's character or Sam Neill's character was an atheist, or if he said he doesn't believe in God. It wouldn't matter, because he believes in love. And that love that he feels for the children is eternal. And this is the most important thing here, that we judge God in our society as a king, as like a worldly king. You know, it was the problem when Jesus was here. Jesus said many things that were not in the Bible, that didn't come into the Bible, but came into the Gospels, or the Gnostic Gospels, which were basically, they were rejected by the Christian church, because they said, well, it sort of contradicts what the dogma and actually the power stuff, the power that they were trying to build up, which was actually male. But the celibacy and the male thing was just because they didn't want nepotism in the Christian church. They didn't want it to go from father to son, which Alexander VI, the Borgia Pope, did anyway. Religions are religions, and they have nothing to do with God. And that might shock you, but it's true. Because we're dealing with a much bigger picture. The universe has 4 million rooms, and the Christian church is just one of the rooms. But God is above all that. And going back to Laura Dern's character and Sam Neill's character, it wouldn't matter if they said they didn't believe in God, because the love that is in their heart is God. It's the eternal energy and the frequencies that are vibrating. And it just vibrates much faster when you're vibrating on a love level. Because the emotion that you feel inside you when you feel love is eternal, and you know that, and it doesn't matter if you know that it's not in your head. When you love someone, or if you're in love, fresh in love, it's not just the hormones and the testosterone and the estrogen and all these other adrenalines that are just juices, actually, that are manifestations or a symptom of the love. But the love is much more. The love goes through you. Greg Braden, he said at 11th of September, to go right to the opposite, 11th of September 2001, when the first plane hit the World Trade Center, the scientists measured a peak of magnetism in the Earth's core. They noticed with satellites that measure the magnetic force of the Earth. They measured an unusual peak at 9 o'clock. It was so unusual that it stunned them. And the only explanation for that peak at that very moment, which actually never happened before, would be a mutual spiritual, emotional reaction that was so strong that it actually changed the magnetic force of the Earth. So you realize here that the whole deal with the emotional reality and the frequencies are strong. We're dealing with another reality. We're dealing with you, the individual, the soul that has a power. You have the power to change the world. If you believe something, if you believe your daughter, your wife, your son are fine, God is going to take care of them, that's the way it's going to be. If you believe that, it's true. And the universe will make sure that it's true. if you truly in your heart believe that there's not going to be a war, if you truly believe in a new peace on earth, somehow, somewhere, that peace will come to pass. Now, I know that there will be plenty of people that will disagree with me here, but I've told you so much about quantum reality here. I've told you about so much about life. And remember that the only thing that really matters is love. Anything else, without your love, without your soul, without the souls of all the people, there wouldn't be any reality. So, subscribe to my channel, take good care of yourself, and remember, you are very, very important. And click the like button, and God bless you.